Are you struggling with how sweaty Warzone is? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the most important thing that you need to understand if you want to finally start dominating sweats on both Rebirth Island and Verdansk, and how both of these games end are absolutely insane. So we're going to start this off on Rebirth here, guys, and I'm going to be honest with you, this might just be one of the best games of Rebirth that I have ever played. Not necessarily from a kills perspective, it's not my PR or anything, but this was definitely a tougher lobby, and we just perfectly balanced positioning and movement throughout, which is really what we're going to be focusing on today. But on top of that, we died twice. We've regained really well. We do end up clutching the win. So just a really good overall game that I played. Now, while we're looting up for loadout here, which we'll circle back to in a second, the biggest thing that we're going to constantly go back to today is the pace and the speed of Rebirth. It's faster than it has ever been before. And when we talk about being in sweaty lobbies, that's the biggest difference, is how fast things happen. The TTK is faster. Why? Because people don't miss shots. The movement is faster. Why? Because, well, enemies are moving faster. So we have to move faster in certain situations. We've got to be quicker with decisions. Our margin for error is smaller. So that's what we're really going to be going back to throughout this entire game. Now, when we talk about that from a loadout perspective and why it is so important, not only are loadout guns, which give us great TTK, make it easier to hit shots, better mobility, all that stuff, but also probably the most important thing, which is this right here, guys. You know, Mountaineer gives me the ability to jump off buildings and finesse enemies easier. Quick fix, I can plate up and still hip fire my gun, which you're going to see later on. Tempered, put 2 plates in as opposed to 3. Allow me to get back into the action, get back to full health quicker. You know, Scavenger gives us cash to pop more UAVs, make better decisions. Resolute, right? If we get shot at, we get a movement speed boost. All things that really help us play faster and outplay more enemies. Here's the SWAT 556 build. You're absolutely going to want it. I promise you guys are going to ask for it when you see this thing. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let it play, and then we'll go back and talk about it, because I want you to see it happen in real time, and then we'll really break down positioning versus movement and why I make certain decisions. Okay, so I'll let it, actually, let's let it play a little bit longer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start from right here. Now, first things first, listen for the door, okay? Now, I don't know where this guy is, right? All I hear is the door, but here's what I know. There's no door on the first floor. There's no door on the second floor here. There's no door in offices. So there's only one place that there can be a metal door, and that's the rooftop, okay? Now, when I push up to the rooftop here, there's a really important thing to understand, which is just because we make a decision doesn't mean we can't back out of that decision. If I push up here and there's 3 guys looking at me on top of this guy, I'm just going to jump straight down, and we're just going to basically back off. In this case, we go straight to the head glitch here to play positioning, which we're going to constantly focus on. And then now we get to a little bit of a weird spot. We don't hit shots well, but what do? We throw the Semtex. Why do we throw the Semtex? It's very simple. This guy can't eat the Semtex, so he's going to have to push outside of his cover, at which point we can easily get that kill. Now, from there, we look at minimap, right? What do we see on minimap? This has to be a quick decision here to see this enemy on my level. I know that he is right over this way. He's on the rooftop with me. So what do? We once again just push to the head glitch. We find the head glitch right here, and now we end up kind of scaring him off a little bit. And we can go ahead and work up. Now, from here, where do we work up to? What do we do here? And this is the area that a lot of you guys struggle, is you're just kind of waiting for something to happen. You're just waiting for an enemy to pop up on your screen instead of putting yourself into situations. Now, we're going to go ahead and work over this way right here. We obviously see Grandma's house. We obviously see lower level of prison. And by the way, guys, real quick, if you are looking to get better Rebirth, I always say this, just give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player. And if not, after 30 days, let's be honest, guys, you can unsubscribe. I totally get it. But I guarantee you that's not going to happen. Watch. Positioning versus movement. Let's talk about it. Let it play, and then we'll backtrack. Oh, I actually jumped through a window. Would you look at that? Okay, let's pause right here. Let's pause right here. Now, let me pull this all the way back to when we're playing positioning initially, okay? So when we're playing positioning initially, I know that there's obviously enemies in this building, okay? And then what ends up happening is I end up seeing them run across here. So we got people in here, we got people in here. Now, what my thought process is in this moment here is close quarters positioning. Now, my thought process is I want to be close enough that I can have a fast TTK, but far enough away that I can break the line of sight and get out of the situation if I need to. Okay, so my thought process right here is, hey, got a bunch of people in this building. I could 100% just stay up top here and wait for somebody to like push out this way, you know, maybe over peek a window or something. You know, maybe they look right here. I could absolutely do that. My thought process was play this little edge. Okay, now under no circumstances am I pushing into this building unless I get a down or something like that. If I don't know how many enemies it is in a building, there's no way I'm pushing in. It's just going to put me in a bad spot. So right here, I'm just going to play outside. Unfortunately, as I go to do that, COD timing at its finest. So as soon as I see this guy, this is the pace, guys. This is where a lot of you guys struggle with playing faster, and you absolutely need to. Now, one thing that does help with playing faster, I just want to mention here as we're finessing and everything, paddle controllers, guys. I would recommend aim. Fully customizable. They have everything. Mouse click triggers, that whole entire, you know, everything you need. Fully customizable with colors, mouse click triggers, you know, paddles, the whole 9 yards. Check them out. If you want a discount, you can use code CUPOFJOE. If not, I totally get it. You can pay full price if you want to. They also have a lifetime warranty on modded parts. So if a paddle breaks or something, you get reimbursed and you get basically it's covered under warranty. And PS4, PS5, Xbox. Okay, back in. What do we do right here? Also notice where we back off to. Right? Notice we back off to, once again, playing positioning. Now, this is really tough. You can see here that I really want to throw my lethal. Like, I really don't want to push in here. Wait, pause. Let's let it play, and then we'll backtrack. There should be, like, light bulbs going off in your head right here with I don't even know if light bulbs is the right word. Okay, so let's go back here, right? I have no choice if I want this thirst but to push in. That's the downside of not having lethal. Now, I did not see this guy up here. I heard him up here, but I thought these two guys were actually on the same team. The moment that I see the pings right here, and I see that there's nobody pinging inside of this building, this is that quick decision you need to make. Hey, I heard people in grandmas. They're not on radar. This is another team. Now, obviously, we're in a really bad spot. We get caught off guard using basic movement here, guys. This is a hip fire and a jump strafe, okay? Today's going to be really in-depth. Hip fire, jump strafe. And then from here, guys, we need to go. Get in the window. And now from here, I'm just doing anything I can. And it's all about breaking the line of sight. Right there. Quick fix already starts my base health regen. Okay? Let me pull this back for a second. Quick fix means as soon as I start plating, my base health is going to start to regen here. Hold this back. Watch. Watch this. Don't even pay attention to anything else. Watch when I start putting a plate in. Just watch my base health. There is usually a 7-second delay. 7 seconds. Okay? Watch. Let's count to 7 here. Ready? 1, 2. I'm dead. That's it. I'm dead right there. There's no doubt about it. And by the way, what do? We go back to positioning here, right? We just pull back, get out of that situation. We reset the fight. Now we can go ahead and start to work back in. I repeat, now we start to work back in. Why do you guys just run away and you don't do anything with this? Also, another big thing that we see there that we'll talk about, react to the situation. You know, that's where we talk about the pacing is reacting to situations. This is just a weapon ping. Enemy dropping into the AO. Boom. Sniper shot. Minimap. Eyes go to minimap right there. That's when my eyes are looking at the minimap. I see above me. I know he's on the gondola. Dead. Right? Broken. Can't quite get that down. Missed opportunity right there. Right? If I get that down right there, I can start to figure out what's happening in grandma's. And I can figure out, do I want to push? Do I not want to push? But you can see right here, how many enemies are in grandma's? I don't know. What level are they on? I don't know. How close are they playing together? I don't know. So I can't push in there. I can't. I've got to play positioning. If I push in there blindly, we're dead. Right? We're just dead. We make a mistake. Or we have to, like, really finesse to get out of it. Why do I push over to control? Weapon ping. I'm going to keep going back to weapon pings, guys. Because this is what I'm acting on. Those moments when you're not acting on anything and you're unsure of what to do and you're wandering around and then the guy pulls up on you out of nowhere and kills you, it's because you're not picking up on these little things. Which again, in better lobbies, our margin for error is smaller, and that can cost us. Head glitch. 1, 2. Now, guys, obviously your aim has to be good, right? When we talk about getting kills in better lobbies. The one thing I do want to highlight here is trigger patience, okay? I think there's a lot of you guys out there, not all of you, but I think there's a lot of you guys out there who try to pull the trigger in one of those two situations. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and work to get a better angle here, right? I'm just going to work to get a better angle here. You know, that obviously is a lightning fast TTK with the ability to hit all headshots. 1, 2, 3 is a bonus, to be honest with you. 3 was just a bonus right there. I didn't think I was going to get 3. I thought I was only going to get 1, 2. 6. There's 7. Now we got to work, right? Watch us work here. Watch this decision. Okay? So there's a few things here to break down. Okay? Number 1, this guy is actually pushing up stairwell. Now, I realized that I was in a bad spot and had absolutely no cover. And also, I tried to use a stim and don't have any, right? So I'm out of stims here. I tried because that helps my base health. I can't get it. Now, we are once again out in the open. All I am thinking about is break the line of sight. Also, make sure you use your melee. Once again, paddle controller really helps with that. You can have, because again, here, if you want to pull out your melee, you got to take your right thumb off the right stick. You actually can't peek into here. Look how low health I am right here. I am like literally a bullet. Now from here, break the line of sight. Now I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. Joe, in my lobbies, I would have died because they're watching the buy station. Who's watching the buy station? I killed the 3 guys up top. There was 1 guy up there. He's not worried about me. He doesn't even know that I'm down here. How does he know that I'm down here? He's not, nobody's watching the buy station. Also, I think a lot of you guys don't recognize that you're out of plates here. I don't think a lot of you guys even consider buying plates in this situation. I don't. And that's okay. I mean, that's a really split-second decision that I make here to say, hey, I need plates. I'm not going to find them. I'm just going to go ahead and buy them here real quick. Boom, boom, boom. And now from here, we're going to re-engage. Look, guys, look how quick we're right back in. Weapon pings. Again, I'm going to continue to highlight it for you guys because a lot of you guys are missing it. Once again, weapon pings. Boom. Watch. Right? I'm going to call myself out, guys. What atrocious centering. What atrocious centering right here. Where am I aiming my gun? That's bad, right? This is why we watch gameplays back. This is something that you can pick up on is your centering. Because again, even if there is a guy here, right? There's a guy here. My crosshairs are here. This is our margin for error, right? That's our margin. This is first shot, right? This is kill versus death. This distance right here to go up, I'll draw it straight through. This distance right here is all 3 of these things. That's our margin for error. That's our first shot. That's our KD, right? That's the difference between a kill and a death. In this situation, no. In other situations, absolutely. Weapon pings. And, guys, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. It's a team game. I hate stacking. It drives me crazy. We play a respawn game mode. But it's a team game. At the end of the day, it's a team game. And they're allowed to play like that. We're back in on loadout. Okay? Once again, we're prioritizing that loadout. Little bit aggressive there. Probably should have, kind of waited for my respawn timer, landed a little close, but we're right back in the action here. We've worked really hard so far for 7 kills. We've worked really hard. And by the way, remember this guy? Hasn't moved. He's been there the whole game. He ain't moving. We know he's staying there for as long as he possibly can. That's just the reality of some of these lobbies that you have to just start to adapt to. And again, movement and positioning. Look. I'm just going to let this play right before the good part. I'm going to let this play until right before the good part, right before the best part. Okay. We get the coach skim. So, guys, this one's very simple, right? I mean, we got so much we look at this right here. Look at the mini map right here. Look at this. I mean, we got people here, and tower, right? Am I supposed to go fight 9 people in a building? A 1v9, literally, with just people on every single floor? It's just not going to happen. And that is where we have to play this positioning right here. Right? So, and what ends up happening to me is I catch this guy when we play positioning and we keep our element of surprise, we catch people off guard. Now, does that do anything for me in this situation? No, right? Because I'm not going to go push in. There's 7 people in there. I don't know. But, like, it does give me the kill, which is ultimately the goal. One guy back behind me. That's just much better centering, a little bit of omni movement. Obviously, guys, when we talk about the omni movement dynamic, you know, this isn't a turn and then slide and turn. This isn't a sprint, slide, turn. This is just a straight, like, literally, this is just straight sideways slide. Boom. We stay centered to him. This guy's broken. That's that first shot advantage that we talk about. That's that margin for error. Very easy kill right there. We do take a little bit of damage, but what do we do from here? I mean, we're right back over here, right? They're still fighting here. Let's go third party this. How many of you guys get third partied in this situation? I mean, it's going to happen, but like, how many of you consistently have it happen? How come you're not the guy that's third partying, right? It could be that balance between positioning movement. It could be the pushing versus getting pushed. There's got to be a reason that it's constantly happening to you. Could be your awareness, right? Could be a few different things. And guys, never forget that sometimes people are just better than you. It's what it is. It's what it is, guys. It happens. It happens, you know? And we're going right back in. Now, what's the one thing that we think about in this moment? It's the one thing that we think about. And this happens... I'll let you guys think. Okay. This happens in this situation. This happens with getting sniped from really far away. This can even happen with getting third-partied in certain situations. But, you know, I know that he just shot me with a rocket, right? So I know he shot me with a rocket, and he's probably still sitting in that building. You know, it wasn't like I got caught. It's not like it was the situation in control, right? Now, these guys are somewhat close, but my loadout guns were safe there. Versus control wasn't safe, right? There were 4 guys in control. There was no way I was going back to get those. But because this guy killed me from so far away in another building, I knew I was fine to get it. I want you to remember the fact that we pick up that sentry. Let's keep going. Guys, also, if you haven't already, a quick like goes a really long way in helping the video.
We've got 10 squads active in the field.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And I mean, what a name, Rusted Pickle. We stream live on Twitch and YouTube Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Watch wherever your heart desires, or TikTok if you want to. Totally up to you guys. But 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Let's play positioning here.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
There's one big thing that I'm thinking about in this moment, which is hold people out of circle, right? Because look at minimap right here, guys. They have to get, I mean, they could technically stay in like headquarters right here, but they have to get out of here. They have to leave here. They can't. Zone's going to cover it up. Weapon ping over to the right side. Look, I'm looking at these weapon pings here. I'm watching these weapon pings just going, these are so many free kills. But this is a great example. There's a few things I don't want to talk about here. A few things. Let me let it play, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, let's go backwards right here. Okay, so first things first, obviously we have a bunch of people fighting here in tower. So initially, yes, my thought process 100%. Let's go play positioning. Let's hold these guys out of circle. When we talk about positioning, guys, it's low risk. It's low risk, high reward, right? So
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
if these guys shoot me from down, when I'm peeking over the edge here, right? After I kill this guy, I'm gonna kind of look over the edge. Actually, yeah, right here. If this guy shoots me, if somebody, say, you know, down here shoots me, then fine. I just pop over the edge and I break that line of sight. It's super easy, right? It's not like I'm in a tough situation having to use movement. That's why we use positioning. Now, obviously, we see the weapon ping down here. You know, we see the weapon ping over here. One guy flies in on me, which is super unfortunate, but we'll take the kill. Still thinking straight ahead here. You know, we got 10 seconds. They've got to get in zone. And then we react to the situation, which a lot of you guys really struggle to react to getting shot. But we got to do anything we can to get down here. We trust our Mountaineer. And then we react to this situation, which, how do we react to it? With quick fix. I say this in every single video, guys. Hip firing is the most broken thing in this game. It's in my opinion, it is. Besides, like, Car 98 flinch and being able to shoot through it. But hip firing is insanely broken. The fact that I down that guy and thirst that guy is crazy. People are going to think I'm cheating because of that, which is fine. I'll never change their mind. But that is actually crazy. How this isn't a hip fire build with the LC-10. Now, from here, we get shot from the right. You know, act on information. I hear a guy pushing. React to the situation. Oh, that's 2 enemies. That's enemy number 1, enemy number 2. Do I keep shooting? No, right? No, we got to get out of this situation. Now, act on information, react to the situation. Okay? Act on information, react to the situation. Okay, so let's talk this one through, right? Now, from here, we're going to reload. These guys, yeah, we got these guys here. Okay. So we kind of work around here. I don't know where anybody is. I know that these guys are probably going to push, right? So what do? We anticipate around the center. Now, from there, I end up hearing a guy kind of back left of me. So we get out. From there, I end up getting shot from this guy. Now, I have no choice. There's no other choice but to do this, right? My chance of survival here is slim to none. Not very high. But there's a little bit, okay? The problem here is that I have an enemy that's basically down here looking at me, and I got people behind my camera, basically to my right side looking at me. And I just got to hope that I can chill here for a second, reset, then we smoke. Now, my only thought process is commit. Just go, right? I got to go fight one side or the other. Now, I've got to either go right or I've got to go left. I've either got to fight people to my right side or fight people to my left side. There's no running out of this. I mean, I guess technically there is. But I'm going to go left because it was a solo player versus in this situation when I'm stuck here, right is like 2 teams. So right side is 2 teams, left side is 1 guy. Okay, so what do? We throw the smoke. We push across, and you can see I'm immediately thinking about this enemy being somewhere around here.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
You can see margin for error, right? We keep moving. And notice how much we move to get to positioning, right? And that's a big thing. We move to get to positioning. 1. Not quite able. That guy's so one-shot.
Get ready. Surgeon's window is about to close.
Now, this is a big one, guys. Pivoting, right? And understanding that just because we make a decision doesn't mean that we can't switch it. Now, obviously, this is a little bit tougher when you're playing with a squad, right? Because you guys got to be on the same page. But, like, down, thirsted. Right here, guys, my eyes go to minimap, and what I see is this. What I end up seeing is these 2 guys that are fighting right outside this way here. So I immediately pivot and say, hey, I'm going to go take that. You know, and this guy, I mean, this guy just freaking, holy smokes. But that's one of those where I make that decision to go pivot that way and end up finding that 1v1 fight and also finding the guy who's extremely low plates. We are all over the place. I also know that I don't have any plates. There's a plate. Still holding on to that sentry gun. Don't worry, we're going to come back to it. It's actually going to be one of the biggest reasons that I clutch this. Straight ahead. Look at the centering. Shot a little bit too early there, but watch the positioning dynamic. This is one of my favorite in the game. If you guys are subscribed, you've heard me break this down before. A lot of you guys there push down the stairs, and here's what happens. You can get shot from this corner, here, this little wall here, this little doorway, anywhere on this head glitch. Instead, I take the extra little bit of time here to push around here, and now every single thing is just in front of me, right? I can see everything, and I can easily break the line of sight behind this wall if I need to. When you push down this stairwell right here, you are guessing. You're just guessing, and you're hoping to know where the guy is, and you basically have no idea. So that's why I push down this way as opposed to straight down those stairs and kind of chasing. I never push down those stairs. Glass. Yep. Watch us get positioning here. Watch the patience and the angles. Watch the patience here. Two guys on my level. Nice. Two guys on my level. Two guys on my level. Two guys on my level. Now, I highlight that because I knew that there were two. The question is, I didn't know where he was. He was hiding in the body. He's right here. I mean, that's a great play. That's a 500 IQ play right there. I knew that there were two. I just didn't know where the second one was. So I was kind of pushing in. I obviously don't have any lethals here and get caught off guard. But what do? We immediately start to finesse, right? Plates, 1, 2. By the way, when we talk about the speed of play, I'm already back to full health, right? That's that quick fix tempered combination that's so broken. Little bit of movement. And also notice, guys, I've done videos about this before, like, no fancy movement. I mean, have I done anything fancy? Am I YYing everywhere? Like, I haven't done anything crazy. It's just basic movement. Slide canceling, playing fast. We're finally going to put the sentry gun down. I did not mean to jump down there. And you're going to see that. And we're going to kind of work back up here in a second. But first things first, we act on weapon pings. Do you notice? I think it's one of the biggest takeaways, guys. When we talk about weapon pings, do you notice how much I third party and get one easy kill? I mean, probably 8 to 10 of my kills, 8 to 12 of my kills right now are just single solo kills where I third partied it. I just want high ground here. Now, I make a decision here, and this is one of the biggest things in the game, guys. An advanced UAV, especially during Endgame, is just a massive advantage. Now, what's the first thing that you notice on minimap here? This. That ain't a lot of cover. That ain't a lot of cover for these guys to play. Hold power position and pick up kills. This is where we slow down, guys. When we get to respawn disabled, Endgame begins when respawn disables. Okay, so as soon as respawn disables, I start to slow down here, and I play more strategic. And by the way, sentry gun's going to go to work here. I play more strategic. That's where I don't want to rely on movement unless I absolutely have to. We're just going to play high ground here. We're just chilling. Unfortunately, don't have self-revive. You know, that was the one downside of going advanced UAV there. But I'm just such a big information guy. Like, I just think the information is just so unfair. Look, these guys have no... Look, they don't know where to go. One guy back here. He tried to. But obviously, that sentry gun really held off those... But look at where these guys are. Look, they don't know where to go. Shot in the back. I'm gonna let this play because this is we'll talk over this one because this is just crazy. Don't be afraid of gas, guys. You've gotta be able to use gas to your advantage because I can't rotate straight down. There was no rotating straight down in that situation. Again, just a big information guy. Information wins me this game. Right? Don't panic here. Just work straight ahead. Already back to full health. Quick fix tempered. Perks. If I don't have perks there, this might turn out differently. I lied. I'm not going to let it play. We'll let the 1v4 play. Game sense, guys. If those guys are on the same team, why would they be shooting at each other? Two teams. Two teams. 1, 2. Okay, here we go. 1v4 for the clutch. 1v4. 1. Watch the PA. And we're just going to do whatever we can here, guys. I will preemptively say that this is a do your best. And that if you're in a 1v4 situation and you win it, the other team lost it. And they pushed like idiots. I'll be honest. I mean, I still clutch this. This is a nasty clutch. Don't get me wrong. But if they just 4-stack you and full send you 4, there's no way you win that. It's just not going to happen. Well, I just want to highlight, like, one more thing here. Maybe 1 or 2 more things here with this end game here. Actually, 3. There's probably 3, actually. Watch this. How mad do you think that guy is? Actually, 4. There it is, guys. 28. There's 4 things I want to highlight about this end game here. Okay? Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Number 1, positioning. Remember, this, again, they lost this. Okay? I had to execute. I executed really, really well, but they lost this. This guy, you can't be sitting out in the open here, right? And notice I'm on the head glitch, right? I mean, that can't happen, and we're going to get that full kill, right? I need to take enemies out of the fight in this situation. If they want to go buy back, they can. That's fine by me, but that guy's going to be flying back in with 2 plates and no gun, or at least not loadout gun. So I'm going to take him out. Now, from here, jump straight, right? Obviously, that's just basic movement. Being able to jump a little bit, strafing left and right. It's the most important movement in the game. Okay, next up, actually 5 things. So this is number 3. Notice right here, guys, I'm jumping. Why am I jumping? For information. If I mantle on top of here, I'm dead. The TTK is too fast, right? Margin for error, very small. Everything happens faster. If I mantle on top of here, I'm dead. It's a slow mantle and a fast TTK. Good night, right? So I'm trying to get a sense of where this guy is. And you can see, like, he tries to shoot me there, but I get the info and he can't shoot me. Now, he shot me a little bit there, but I traded, okay? So, number 4 is, just for the record, he plated. He at least got 1 plate in, right? Now, he doesn't have tempered. We see that because it's blue. But the last thing, guys, is hip firing. Just hip fire, hip fire, hip fire in close quarters. Obviously, he's stimming to try to give himself a chance and break my camera. I'm just going to leave the FOV open. We just hip fire. And then, of course, we show him some love there to execute. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this part of today's video. We're going to jump into Verdansk as well. But more importantly, if you only play Rebirth Island, make sure you are subscribed down below. So, jumping in on Verdansk here, guys. And I'm going to be honest, this game we're going to take a look at here is just a really good all-around high-kill solos win that I had. Now, I want to start off with the first decision you make every single game, which is your drop spot. And early game is crucial. If we land in and die immediately, then we have to spend the rest of the game. We don't have any more chances. That's it, right? Or if we can land in and get loadout, then we carry that momentum through mid-game into end game. We put ourselves in a good spot. Now, you have 2 options here. Option number 1, in my opinion, which I like better, is comfort. Okay, I land train station every single game. I know where the loot crates are. I know the different areas on how to get to rooftop, how to challenge enemies, where enemies like to play. I know where the buy station is. I know where my rotations are. You know, I know exactly how to play train station. I personally prefer to land in the same spot every single game. The other option here is, of course, going to be contract. Now, if you're going contract, this gives you good cash, and this gives you good cash, okay? A scavenger or a recon. Bounties you can grab, but we're not really going to go push that early game, and if it gets poached, we don't really get that much cash. So I'm not a huge fan unless there's, like, nothing else around. But even in this case, what you're going to see is I'm not going to full send for this scavenger contract. I ping it because that's where I'm dropping, but in my opinion, especially in solos, like, your life is the most valuable thing. So what you're going to see here is exactly why I don't full send contracts, because I'm going to go ahead and land in. And by the way, we talk about train station. I know that there is a C9 in this spot every single game. And what do? He's going to grab the contract. He doesn't have anything to shoot me with. right? Now, he has a pistol, so we got to be careful, but I got the C9, and that ends up leading to a very easy kill. It's a big reason that I don't like full sending contracts, especially if you land in a bigger POI. You know, there are certain POIs on the map where getting loadout can be a little bit tough in terms of getting that cash that we need. Train station, there's plenty. You know, superstore, there's plenty. Hospital, downtown, overlook. Like, generally speaking, in the bigger POIs, there's plenty of cash to be able to get loadout. Now from here, I'm just going to use Heartbeat. And one thing that I will add when we talk about that gameplay strategy dynamic is we're going to be focusing on information, we're going to be focusing on rotations, we're going to be focusing on positioning, and we're going to be focusing on movement. Obviously, aim's the most important thing, being able to hit your shots. But starting off right here, guys, we're just getting loadout. You know, I'm just going to go ahead, and every once in a while, I'm going to pull my Heartbeat out because I don't know if anybody rotated in a train station. Maybe somebody flew in that I didn't hear. Maybe somebody landed in that I didn't quite catch. So I just want to make sure that I'm still in an okay spot here to just kind of keep looting easily. We got the melee out. We're going to go ahead and just keep pushing forward and get loadout. Once again, you see the Heartbeat. Let's go ahead and grab our loadout right here. Now, the big thing here is when I get loadout, I also have $4,700. So immediately, instead of going, hey, let's push, let's find enough for UAV here, which gives us a little bit of confidence early game to figure out where our next fight is. The other thing that I will say here is, guys, we got plenty of time. You know, you might be asking, Joe, you landed out of circle. Like, why wouldn't you land in circle? Guys, first circle hasn't even started closing yet. I still have 5 minutes to get into zone here. Like, I've got plenty of time. And there's cars that we can use, but even if you want to stay on foot, like, getting into zone, there's zero concern about me getting into zone. Now, from here, something very important to understand is I'm not going to pop this UAV immediately. Why? Because I'm pretty confident that this area is clear. So let's not waste it. Let's see if we can push over to kind of this next POI over here with towers and green and police and SOS buildings. You know, let's get all over in this area here, and then we can figure out where the dots are, at which point we can go ahead and get those kills. One of the biggest areas a lot of you guys struggle is if you do get a UAV up, you don't actually get any kills from it. And what that leads to is now we just use the UAV and we get nothing out of it. Now, in this moment right here, okay, this guy's going to end up kind of pushing my direction. He gets out of the car. And then, this is Solos. So, in typical Solos fashion, he just leaves. Now, there's two things to kind of pay attention here. Number one, when I'm crossing out in the open, this is when I am extremely susceptible. And we need to be aware of that. Could I smoke and go across? Psh, smoke there, smoke there. Absolutely. But again, I don't really think there's nothing that's telling me there's anybody here, right? So I'm just kind of working across here. You know, as soon as I throw those smokes down, they make some noise and people kind of look at me. Now, the other thing here is I do throw this nade, but don't get caught out in the open here because I have nowhere to go and I'm in a very susceptible position to potentially be run over. Cover is the most important thing on this map, and we're going to pay attention to that a lot throughout this video. By the way, guys, real quick, I know we only got one kill yet, but just trust me, we're going to piece it together. If you are looking to get better at Warzone, I always say this, give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player. If not, guys, at the end of 30 days, you can always unsubscribe. I totally get it, but I guarantee you, that is not going to happen. Now, from here, okay, what do we notice on minimap? Okay, so we see this guy over this direction, and we see this guy over this direction. Now, honestly speaking, I can go push this guy, or I can go push this guy. There's really not a right or wrong way to do this, okay? My thought process in this situation is, number one, let's go take the guy that's on my level to the left side. But more importantly, number two, with just a little bit of map knowledge, we're going to go ahead and take the zip up top, right? And think about that high ground dynamic where I can actually from up here see both enemies in this situation. So that was my thought process before I heard the glass break, at which point now we can go ahead and execute. Immediately, though, we need to be thinking about the next enemy. By the way, guys, for solos, I don't care what your perk 2 is. You can run quick fix if you want to. I run tracker because I think it's easier on Verdansk to be able to see enemies in bushes and stuff like that. Scavenger is a must for cash. This gives us an extra 1K. It's huge when it comes to getting UAVs and stuff. And then Bird's Eye makes it so that ghosted players pop up, so they can't hide from you. and it shows you what direction enemies are looking at. Now watch the play from here. This is where the guy was. Okay. Just playing. Notice the patience, guys. This is where, like, I'm not trying to play, like, metaphor and these crazy, you know, these crazy solos, guys. I'm trying to play smart, put myself in good positions, consistently pick up high kill wins. Notice that we play a little bit of cover right there. Okay? So I end up hearing him. We hear him push left just a little bit. And notice right here, guys. Notice in this moment, if he's right here, go right here. If this guy pops over this corner over here and shoots me, where am I going? Right? Even if in this moment I slide left and I briefly break the line of sight here, I'm still completely out in the open here behind my camera, right? I'm not going to make it to here. That's not going to happen, which means the only option is to shoot my way out of this. And that is the one situation that we never want to find ourselves in, where we are in like a head-on situation and we just have to shoot our way out of it. The margin for error there is very small with how fast the TTK is. So what do? I go ahead. I get a little bit of positioning. Now if this guy shoots me, okay, now if he shoots me, then I just slide left into the building here and I'm perfectly fine. I just strafe left and I break that line of sight. Now, this moment right here, he's stuck behind the trash can. He can't really do anything. I could absolutely use a Semtex in that situation. Ultimately decide just to hold it and kind of keep shooting right there. And then we go ahead and loot up. Let's go pop UAV. Now, it's a little bit of a weird one, okay? I don't love indecisiveness, but I was indecisive in this moment. And it kind of puts me in a little bit of a weird spot. You know, we see one guy there. We see one guy pushing across that direction. Then from there, I go to grab bounty. Then from there, I actually see this guy over here that's back on my level outside of circle at train station. You know, so then I start to go work that direction. But then what ends up happening is when I open up map again, I see that he actually has a car, which means he's probably just going to take the car and leave. So I didn't love that guy. So then I go to the right side here. This is that exact moment that I talk about where I just wasted $6,000, right? I spent $6,000 and got absolutely nothing from it. I didn't get more cash. I mean, I got this piece of information, but you're going to see it right here. This piece of information is about to disappear. And now all of a sudden, what am I doing? Right? I have no momentum. I've got loadout, right? I have no weapon pings to act on. I have no UAVs. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to work with. So we go grab bounty. We go grab bounty. You could loot up here. Absolutely. You could loot up if you want to, but I'm going to look for some kills here. And the first thing that we notice is what? What is the first thing that I notice right here? You see bounty over to the left side. First thing that we notice. Out of circle, right? And I want you to remember this, that he's kind of got to get to this open area right here. So I just go ahead and I decide, hey, in the grand scheme of solos, you know, he's got a minute 50 to rotate in. We're going to use heartbeat just to make sure. You know, obviously people love to sit on top of these buildings, guys. So people love to play common buildings. People love to sit on top of this. People love to sit, you know, in these houses to my left side right here. People sit in common buildings. So I've got to expect somebody to potentially be up there. Now I'm just going, hey, get a car 98, which, funny enough, is exactly what I want. Right? Car 98 kind of gives me a little bit of an advantage here. So you're going to see me actually drop my gun and go back and get the car 98. Because in this situation with the range and everything, the sniper is kind of the better option. And we're going to go ahead and actually take it one step further here and go ahead and open up this crate. And for once in my life, I am thankful that the crates pop out snipers galore. I am thankful that all they do is pop out snipers because that is the perfect thing that I needed in this situation. And again, keep in mind here, if I flip my camera off and we compare to the minimap, this guy's got to get to like right there, right? All of this here is out of zone, right? All this is out of zone here. So I know that he's got to get kind of inside of this line, which, by the way, even if he does get inside of that line, it's not like there's a ton of cover for him to work with. Now, I am going to go ahead and speed this up here because little bit of this guy is just pushing in the car. You know, he ends up driving away. And shout out COD servers. I think this guy ends up lagging out because he literally just dies to gas. But notice right here that I am still, guys, you can see it when gas. I don't think we ever actually see gas fully close in. I don't think I actually look at it. but you can kind of see where he would have had to get to. And it's just, it would have been an easy kill for me. So what do we do from here? Like, we're back to this. We're back to a little bit of this wandering, right? A little bit of unsure of what to do. So let's go ahead and loot up a little bit. We can rely on heartbeat if we want to. You know, we can absolutely rely on that heartbeat. Ultimately, I decide to kind of... There's crates to my left. I'm thinking, do I rotate over across the street and kind of use the heartbeat to my advantage to figure out where somebody is? And then we get... I have no contracts around me. Like, we're in a little bit of a tough spot here. I should have grabbed that satchel, but I was too excited about the cash, I'm going to be honest, because now this is where we really start to piece together this momentum. And you'll see the difference here with when we pop a UAV and do nothing with it versus we pop a UAV and we are able to do a lot with it. Now, in this moment here, guys, you have a very important decision to make, okay? If you're a little bit more of a passive player, you know, you look for kills here or there, maybe you're still working on improving. This guy's a pretty good guy to fight over here. You know, he's a solo player. Obviously, you're playing solos, but he's literally nobody else is around him. He's in Superstore. We can go ahead and fight that. For me personally, who's really looking to balance the kill and high and win dynamic, I see this over here, right? So this is 4 kills super quick if I can get over here. So I'm just going to kind of work my way that direction. Now, watch how I focus on my cover here. Okay, I'm kind of a little bit concerned because if somebody peeks over this top of, you can see me kind of beelining this way, because if somebody peeks over this edge here, you know, I'm in a really bad spot, or like up top here. So I'm trying to get to this wall here and try to get up top here. And then from there, watch what happens. Watch how we always think about that positioning dynamic. Positioning is what I want you to get through your head and really focus on. We see this guy straight up top. I'm thinking about high ground. I hear him running. Now, we knew he was up. We knew he was up here. So now I just hear him running my direction. He's going to mantle. I'm caught out in the open, but we're able to execute. And I didn't want to take Zip there because he would have killed me off of Zip. Watch for Heli. Right? We see Heli right there. But where do we go from here? Right? This is where we had the UAV up. We know that there's still like 3 enemies down here by this garage over here, by this parking garage. So I know where they are in the sense that they're somewhere in this area. I'm just not 100% sure exactly where. Okay, so what do? We just play high ground here, right? Keep using that heartbeat sensor to your advantage. Not too much, though. And now I know he's to the left side here. I know he's in the stairwell. Can't quite see him yet. There he is. Now, where's this guy going to go? If you were this enemy right here, if you were him, where would you go? Probably down the stairs, right? Probably down the stairs. So, we just think about where he's going, right? And by the way, just for the record, if he's not here, then he's sitting here still. And he's still in the stairwell, and we can go ahead. I don't have any lethals in this case, but we can go ahead and challenge him that way. Nice, easy kill right there. Big bag of cash. There's the money that we just replaced the UAV with, right? So we popped a UAV. We got a kill. We got 2 kills from it, and we got enough cash to buy another UAV. And the next UAV shows that there's one guy kind of straight down below me here. One guy down below. Watch how we play cover right here. Even in these kind of closer mid-range situations, right? We don't just challenge here. I still play off the head glitch. Always look for something to challenge off of. And you can see right here that this right here, this machine that controls the arm thing is 100% what allows me to take less damage, right? Because I got cover here. You know, you can see bullet. Then, he, you know, obviously he's not connecting with me. Bullet. You know, he's not really doing a ton of damage. He can only see my forehead. I can see his entire body. And immediately, guys, we know that this enemy's over here that we got to worry about. Right? We have to worry about this next enemy over here. Once again, we just play a little bit of positioning here. Don't get too caught out in the open. The biggest thing that I always try to reiterate, guys, when it comes to positioning is obviously based off of information. We got to know where somebody is or see somebody. But then from there, it's like, how close can I get so that it's easier to shoot my gun when it comes to controlling the recoil? The longer away we shoot, the harder it is. So it's super easy to control the recoil. We get the fastest TTK possible before that first damage drop off. But also, we have the most outplay potential, and we have the most ability to escape. You know, if this guy turns this corner here and absolutely beams me, I just duck back down to where I came from, right? And I break that line of sight, and I'm easily able to get away, at which point I can figure out what my next move is. Make sure, as we hear that UAV ending, we kind of ping some more information, ping some more potential. One crate down below. What's my thought process right here? Look at my cash. What's my thought process? My cash, when I look at cash here, it's not only buy one, it's also hold one, right? So in this situation, I want to try to get enough. I want to try to get 12,000 here. You know, we're at 11,980, and of course that crate doesn't pop out any cash. But I want to try to get to 12,000 so I can buy one, act off of that information, and then pop another one later on when I need it. Bounty started. Contracts. And I don't care. I might push this. I might not push this. This might get poached. It might not get poached. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it up. I'm going to go ahead and use that to my advantage from an information perspective. And if it gets poached, I get some cash. If it doesn't get poached, I can always go push it. I can always just leave it. By the way, we actually never looted this guy over here. Because I was worried about... When I killed this guy right here, this skin, on top of me, I didn't think his loot was going to fall straight down, or else I would have grabbed it. But instead, we were focusing on rooftop. Let's go to work our way over. Now listen. Okay? Just want you to listen for a second. Let's just look at where this guy's going. Look up minimap. Watch him. Watch where he's going to.
Rally on marked ports.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Let me ask you a crazy question. Any guesses who popped a UAV? You think maybe it might be this guy? Now, what this guy doesn't know is that I know where he is. And what this guy doesn't know is that I know that he knows where I am, right? So watch how this happens.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Now, if it wasn't the first one, it was definitely that one. Look, watch. He has no idea that I know he's pushing me. Right? Now, what should he have done instead? Instead of beelining out into the open here, kind of play this wall, maybe, you know, kind of play over here a little bit, you know, try to see where I'm going. You know, maybe you push into this little long building right here. You don't just push out in the open. You kind of have to be really, really careful about that because you never know when they know where you are, right? So always keep track of your cover and never try to put yourself in a susceptible position unless you absolutely have to, which we will technically see during Endgame. We'll see a situation where I have to put myself in a tough spot, but we'll talk about how we get out of it. Now, this one's pretty easy, guys, right? We get UAV. Let's go replace the cash. We got 5,600. This right here is probably going to give us, like, at the minimum, if we kill him, it's $4,000 plus a $1,000 scavenger pack, so that's $5,000 plus whatever cash he has left. And I'm just kind of working over, right? Where are we going? He's on my level. I'm just going to hold for a second and see what he's doing. I get a little bit aggressive here in the sense that I probably should have just played the truck, but I wasn't 100% sure where he was going. And notice I still have these rocks if I need to, right? So I am out in the open, but also when you catch somebody out in the open, you just got to execute. There's not much that they can do. And by the way, there you go. I mean, we just grabbed... That's $14,000 right there, or $13,000 that we just got from one single kill. Because we get UAV, we grab the bounty, we pop the UAV. You know, he has no idea that I'm there. And that element of surprise is so important in solos. It's also an area where you guys are the ones, you guys a lot of times are the ones, I see it very often, that get surprised. Big game bounty. Next contract, let's rock. $7,800. Now, what do we do? Little bit of a far rotation, a little bit out in the open here, guys. I'm thinking car. Okay? And by the way, up until this point, have we used movement? Not really. It's just all been bounty poached. We got 21 grand. You know, up until this point, it's just been playing positioning. Putting myself in really good positions, keeping that element of surprise, you know, making sure I'm catching people out in the open, and then I just execute. And that is the name of the game here. I'm going to switch to this car right here and get the Polaris. A little bit more cover as I'm rotating here. You know, and you can really go back and forth on cars. If you want to rock a car, you can. Just don't park the car exactly where you're going to be. You know, try to keep a... Well, it's funny I say that because this is... Well, no. Actually, I kind of do here. I kind of do. I kind of drive over so he knows that I'm here, but I'm going straight to high ground. Right? I'm going straight to high ground right here. Let's get rooftop. It's going to allow us to see more. You know, if you're really going to challenge somebody, try to see if you can park it a little bit away. This guy's crossing. Once again, out in the open. The guy doesn't have a chance because it's just the TTK so fast. That's a great example. Oh, and by the way, now look at what we do, right? Notice contracts, contracts, contracts. Really try to do as many contracts as I can to be able to keep the cash flow and just keep those UAVs up. Watch. Now, remember how I said people play common buildings? Does it surprise you that somebody's in tower? Not really, right? I'm not going to mess around with that buy station. I don't need the cash. I still got $9,500. I've got self-revive. I don't need to go to that buy station. And you know that man up there is a passionate, passionate, passionate gamer. Let's talk about taking strategic fights, okay? This guy's obviously pushing into the building. We see him in the window right there. Don't challenge that head on, right? Now, this is a, yeah, once again, I get out. But where would you expect me to play here? If you're this guy in the, you know, the building over this way, where would you expect me to play? Probably top window, right? You'd expect me to play up top here. So that's what I'm not going to do, right? I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm actually going to play this little low window right here and see if I can maybe catch him over peeking just a little bit. And we just play patient here, you know? I have not seen him at all. I haven't seen a glimpse of him since he was in that little window. You know, trying to find a slightly different angle here. And there he is. Now, that's the first time we see him. So we take a slightly different angle here. Trying to figure out where he potentially might have gone to. And there's the sniper glint. Okay? So I'm low ground with a guy on a head glitch with a sniper. What do you think the chances of me killing this guy from this position are? 1%? Barely anything. Because here's the thing. If I don't hit him at all, which he's a very hard target to hit. If I don't hit him at all, he gets no flinch on the sniper. I'm not taking the risk. I'm not taking the risk. I throw a smoke that side to the... I throw the first smoke to kind of distract him a little bit. And then I throw the second smoke to be able to get into the car and rotate. And now we start to think about, okay, I can challenge this guy, but like how? Right? Where's our positioning from? Not there. Not there at all. So what do? We just push up the hill. We got to be careful of what's going on around us, for sure. You know, where is this guy? I don't really see him. I don't see anything just yet. I'm moving to avoid sniper shots. Yep, there's the glint. So we just move a little bit. We reposition just a touch. I just don't see him at all. He won't peek it. And I can't get any closer because this is all out in the open here, right? There's no cover here. So I can't really get any closer. Sure enough, what does he do? He gets in the car.
Reloading.
He just gets in the car and dips. Nothing we can do. Now he's out. What's our thought right here? Two things. Number one, very, very susceptible, right? When he gets out of the car here, I'm in a very, very susceptible position because I'm completely out in the open. Number two, somebody shooting inside a police, right? So immediately my assumption is there's somebody here. And then I hear, and you can see the sniper shot right there. There's the guy. And this is solos, baby. This is the chess match. Okay. Heartbeat. Why? I want to confirm where he is. I want to try to confirm exactly where this guy is. Yep, so he's right inside here. Shock charge again. Perfect. Now they're both done. Now I know that I have a little bit more free reign to be able to challenge this guy. Wrong gun. Should have been LC-10. But now we can go keep the pressure on. And this is where movement gets a little bit dangerous, guys. I did not want to dead slide here. I wanted to jump and slide as far out as I wanted to hit the ground and slide and then just basically put myself in a good position. And I just get stuck right here. I just plant my feet. And obviously that puts me in a really, really, really bad spot with, you know, being able to take less damage in that gunfight. Now, don't forget about the guy that's back behind me. And don't forget about the car that just pulled up over here. Right? There's that guy that's down the hill still. And two guys fighting over here. One guy dead. So it's just a one. We're just going to play positioning here. I'm not in any rush. We're getting closer to endgame here, so we're going to start to slow this thing down a little bit. Still worried about this. And this lobby died. I mean, this is one where, like, there's 8 people left already, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's part of Verdansk solos at times. I hear this guy floating around here somewhere. And then, obviously, I get sniped. So, now what do? Right? I have cover from the guy down the hill. I go ahead and focus on this guy in the house. And boom, right there. That's what we need, baby. Now, sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky. Sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky. Not with the shot, but with the full kill. Now, the problem here is I can't get that full kill. Number one, I'm never going to get over there in time. Right? By the time I get over there, he's full plated, and I'm in a situation that I don't want to be in. Right? He's already regained. I might as well just go approach it normally at that point. Right? So, I can't really push over there. But somebody got the full kill for me. Thank you. Now, somebody got the full kill, which means somebody's over there. So, I still have people in the same exact buildings. Just checking to see what I can find. Because I know, again, I know somebody killed him in there. That's where the information dynamic is so important. So important. But positioning.
No more fighting in the gulag.
Okay. Enough with the HDR. Let's go back to the kilo here. It's what I feel most comfortable with. I don't know where this guy is. I just can't quite see him. There's one. Okay. And I know I'm in circle here. So I don't really have to do anything too crazy. I don't have to rush. Car rolling up again to this house. I mean, this house is the most poppin' house on the block. There he is. And look, this is, guys, this is where trees, you could buy yourself a little bit of cover, but doesn't do that much for you. I mean, there's Terminator skin. We obviously avoid the sniper shot. He's broken. We shoot left just in case he strafes that way. We shoot back right. At this point, guys, I'm just shooting to get tags. My next move would have been to throw thermite here, but in this moment, we're able to go ahead and get that kill, and we don't take anything from him. But I do know that I need the plates, right? I need these plates desperately, so we're gonna go ahead. We smoke back just to play safe, and now we're just gonna hold this position here, right? We're just gonna hold people out and try to basically get to a spot where we can, you know, catch people rotating down the hill. But what's your concern here, right? You're gonna see me play very, very frantic in this moment. You're going to see me, like, moving a lot. You know, the tough part is like, hypothetically, say somebody's here. They've got a great angle on me. And not only can they get the down with a sniper, you know, or up here, they can also get the thirst because of this high ground. So I've got to be really, really careful with these windows, you know, in the sense that, like, I'm in a building, but I don't necessarily have great cover, right? I can get shot from the right side right now. You know, I can get shot from a lot of different angles. Not necessarily a lot of different angles, but it's very wide. The angle that I can get shot from is super wide. So that's why I'm kind of playing this frantic, like moving around a lot. I'm strafing a lot. Trying to make myself a hard target to hit. I don't hear anything. We're just going to hold, guys. The end game has begun. So now we focus straight on the win. We catch people rotating in with our positioning. Catch people rotating in with our rotations. And we clutch. Trying to think about where people are, right? 5 enemies left. You know, we know one's in here. We pretty much know nobody's here. I'm assuming that there's somebody in this building right here, right? So, like, we have 5 enemies left. 1, 2, you know, we know where 1 and 2 are probably, but I don't know where the other ones are. I have no idea. You can see we're just looking. That's it. We're not just sitting, right? I am looking for people still. We're constantly on the hunt in the sense of, like, we're looking for where people are. Now, the problem is I know that I have to push down. I want you to pay attention to this in particular, guys. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I promise you will become a better player. Watch. Okay. 1. My only thought process... I mean, yeah, I want to get the down. My thought process here is take his plates. Also, I never noticed this. I never saw that. I'm going to be honest with you. I was focused on what was happening in the building. I never saw that ping on the left side. So I'm just trying to take his plates because the more plates I take, the closer I get to being able to challenge and give myself that advantage. He throws a smoke. So now we go. And how do we go? Right? Do I full send the building? No. I just play positioning. I find a little cheeky angle. Right? And this is where, because from here, I can easily escape if I need to. It doesn't require nearly as much outplay potential as if I'm in the building. PA. He jumped. I don't know where he went. But we got high ground now. Right? Now we're in a good position. Now we have building control. Now we're in control high ground in a building. And we just got to hold it a little bit. Fighting down below. Car. Look, at this moment, guys, like, I'm resisting the urge to push a little bit. Like, I kind of do want to go push. But at the end of the day, we're looking for consistent high kill wins. The consistency, even though this isn't a 20, the consistency and the positioning and acting on information and, you know, the decision-making is what allows you to ultimately drop those 20-plus kill wins that we're looking for. I love this endgame, too. What a brutal circle rotation here. And I know they're in that building. And I kind of have to go... I have to go right or left here. 3 enemies left. I can hear that there's one guy down below. Don't over-challenge, right? I can't over-challenge that situation. I didn't think I got off to a good jump. Now we can go, right? Now all of a sudden we have a much, much bigger advantage here. You know, but don't over-challenge that unless you have to. Whoop! Back off. Now I have no choice but to rotate left here, right? I have no choice but to go this way. Now, he shot me from somewhere over this direction back behind my camera. But he's got to come full kill me. You know, this is the importance of having self-revive during endgame, is making sure that we can honestly, you know, we can get that self-revive off if we need to. Just checking to make sure nobody was upstairs. 1v1 situation. I still have no idea where this guy is. I have zero idea where this guy is. Now, I'm going to let this play. This is where this is where high ground is not always the most beneficial thing. Okay? Just watch. This is why high ground is not always the 100% answer. We're stuck low ground here, right? Look at the cover that we have. We have a little bit of cover. And then as I peek up, look what I see. He is completely out. He's high ground. Is he high ground? He's high ground. Does he have cover? No. He can't have cover. He's kind of being pushed off the edge there. Now we got to execute. And I see his whole body. He sees nothing from me. Go ahead and get that full kill. He had specialist in a bag. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.